what's he talking about? Then, oh God, that was awful.
Keep that in, Chris, that's fantastic. What am I talking about? Bloody ridiculous. I think it started, by the way.
Have you started? Episode 11, welcome back. Today we're all action and no talk. I came up with this phrase, all action and no talk, presumably because I was exasperated at some stage at feeling that somebody was all talk and no action.
You're
and
looking at me when you're saying that, are you, Kate?
No, unfortunately, I believe I was looking at a client organisation.
Ooh, don't name them.
The point is, at that point, was the distinction between a big company where bureaucracy and admin in our world were frustrating compared to the fact that we could frankly just get on with it. So it was a classic case of sort of all talk and no action. I think we all know the scenario, endless meetings that go nowhere and an awful lot of red tape to go through. Leaving a meeting thoroughly positive, lots of action points. Does anything happen? No, because we go to the next meeting, next set of action points. Oh, whoops, didn't have time to actually do anything about that. And feeling intensely frustrated as a small team that you can't you can't work with that. So it has been for us pretty common. And there's another application of that concept, which is the concept that sometimes you can, by converse, go at something like a bull in a china shop and people just do, and there is no design, there is no plan.
Okay.
And that was my point, that sometimes there is too much action, and that might be either things being scattergun and some kind of sort of, silo mentality on a big or small scale, that you just go at it, or a small team, we just get on with stuff, just do it, just very reactive, very responsive. And when you look at a technical environment, a technology environment, there is the concept of scoping, and you have a very careful configuration or design plan, and there is a perfect opportunity to see that happen to a greater or lesser extent. And in our world, HR Tech, I have always said scoping matters, which is where I came up with this line, all action and no talk. Yeah. But my point to everybody is this is actually a spectrum, and chances are you haven't got it exactly right in your balance between the extent to which you act and the extent to which you talk, and it's worth at least thinking about whether you have. So as a business, when we started in phase 3, we've been a little bit bullish, a little bit, right, well that's happened, so let's do this.
Yeah.
And we needed to move a little bit into, okay, let's just talk a little bit more.
Yeah. And
now it becomes something of a watch point for me, that we don't go too far and we don't become, okay, now we're tying ourselves up in knots and we're suddenly all talk and we're no action. We're all meetings, we're all management team.
What's the best way of balancing that out, do you think, as you're growing, and is there how do you manage the change bit of that, and as you said, making sure that you are talking enough and actioning enough? You are right in that we are very much action, no talk, and now we talk a bit more. We're still very, we're still quite quick in actioning decisions and things we want to do, but we certainly talk a lot more. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on where the balance is with that, and at what point.
I think maintaining an awareness is the main thing. So if we can, for example, if you think about the way I've chosen to structure how we manage our meetings,
yeah.
My question that I ask any group of delegates there to have in mind is, does this meeting continue to have a value? Does this discussion continue to have value? Dead good tip, as I read somewhere, to distinguish between debate meetings and decision meetings, or discussion meetings and decision meetings, which I think is quite a useful concept. So if you have a discussion or debate theme, like this vlog might be an example, what are we doing? We're not expecting it to reach an outcome. Well,
not.
Actually, I don't know.
No,
We are.
I don't know. I don't think we're expecting an outcome. We're not switching. We're not expecting. What could the outcome be of this? We're debating.
Yeah.
It's a debating discussion meeting.
So, I mean, you heard me do one earlier on with one of our colleagues. We were just having a discussion. We're not expecting anybody to.
Yeah.
We're encouraging ourselves to think, to understand.
Was there a ratio in what you read in terms of debate meetings versus decision meetings?
Good question. There wasn't.
There wasn't, because you
And
can't
I
have.
guess that's going to depend on the nature of your business.
But you can't have the decision without debate, can you? Well, no, you can.
You could.
You could, but it would be a better decision, a more thought through process if you'd had the debate meeting, and then I think the issue arises when all you're having is debate, and no one's actually taking any action, making a decision.
I think that's one part of the issue. I think there's another very simple thing. Set anybody's diaries up and they go back to back. When's anybody going to do anything about anything?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I think ratio of how you use your time is an awareness to have, whether you work as a one-man band, as a team, of whether you're modelling BODs on a spreadsheet for gazillions.
That's a very good point. The amount of time you say, you hear people, customers, consultants, whoever, they're saying, I'm back to back. Whether they actually are or not is a different story, but they're very busy in meetings. And you've been in those meetings, I've been in those meetings, I've been falling asleep in some of those meetings, if I'm being totally honest, because I know where it's going. I know after 10 minutes where the meeting's going, but you feel like you have to sit there and listen and take part in this kind of charade.
Well, try not.
But you can't. When you're in front of a customer, how can you not? You can't say, I know what I'm doing here, guys, leave it to me, 10 minutes into the meeting, I'll see you later.
Somebody's in charge of that meeting. And, the opposite, let's just explore idea is if you run, take our management team meetings, right?
Yeah.
Why do I bang on the fact this is going to be 90 minutes, it's going to be 90 minutes, it's not going to be a moment longer? Because I don't believe that is the right forum to have an extensive debate about what we want to do with X, Y or Z. It's a control meeting where we're going through certain outcomes and certain decisions.
That makes sense.
If we want to have a great long protracted debate about whether vlogs are a good idea or whether I make funny faces or what's he talking about, then that's awful. Then
keep that in, Chris. That's fantastic.
Then that's another conversation. Park it.
Yeah, it's all too common, and I think people actually just taking a little bit of action rather than the talking bit sometimes is what's needed. But not everybody's like that.
But the vlog title is all action and no talk.
People do, but you need
and know which you're guilty of.
You need
sometimes
a healthy balance.
Plan something.
You need a healthy
Design
balance.
it. Where are you going?
I think you need a healthy balance of both. You need a healthy balance of both, depending on what stage of your business you're at. If you're work for a council, big public sector.
Well, hold on a minute.
You're not going to be able to take as much action as you'd like to, probably. Easy to fall into those habits, isn't it? And everybody else is doing the same thing.
On a local level, I think you still can.
Yeah, department.
Do one thing. Take your diary and stop making it hour. Make it 50 minutes, 10 minutes, or hour on, or 3 hours on, an hour off or something. Because where are you going to do anything with what you've done?
Okay. So what's your summation of this blog?
My summation of this blog is understand the difference between how much of your time you spend acting, how much of your time you spend talking, and work out if it's right for you.
Okay. Good. I'll take that. We're done. What, we're spending more time talking? Less time in action. Thank you very much, guys. See you next week. Take care.